Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. Game number 3 here between DRG and KiWiKaKi. This is going to be the third and final game here in the series between these two players. KiWiKaKi spawning in the 3 o'clock spawn location of Metalopolis as our red Protoss player. And then right over here in the 9 o'clock position, we've got DRG as the blue Zerg player. So yes, game number 3 here in this PvZ between KiWiKaKi and DRG. We're, of course, now tied up 1-1, and this will be the final game in the series here. Metalopolis is a favorite map of mine, so I'm excited to have it on this particular map. DRG starting things out by doing what you're going to see every Zerg player do on one of these maps, either the Shadow Temple or Metalopolis, any of these maps with that close position there, air distance-wise. You almost always see that first Overlord scout that near-air position, and that's exactly what DRG is doing. Now we can see again KiWiKaKi with the Forge Fast Expand. He is just loving this build in PvZ, and understandably so, as it really does provide you with a lot of options, and it's almost a guaranteed expansion. Very rarely do I see a Forge Fast Expand in PvZ actually get busted by a Zerg opponent. You see it attempted, you see Zerg players try to bust it with Roach Spieling pushes, but it doesn't happen a lot. And the problem is that especially when sentries come into play, you just are having major headaches when it comes to trying to bust through that frontal wall off. And yeah, so it's just a very solid, very effective opener. If you are a Protoss player and you haven't tried this particular opening in PvZ, I suggest getting familiar with it. Especially those of you in the lower leagues, the Forge Fast Expand opening will probably decimate a lot of your Zerg opponents if they don't know how to properly deal with it. Be it taking a third or trying to mass up off of 2 bases and push you before you actually mount up much of a force at all. All sorts of possibilities. But anyways, that is enough of that. Taking a look here for DRG, same opening that we've seen him do in the first 2 games. Going gas first into pool, giving himself enough Vespene to get that metabolic boost immediately, and then holding off on that expansion. KiWiKaKi again just trying to confirm that there will be no expo until those Zerglings come into play, which is going to be just around that 3-minute mark. You can see that is when that spawning pool is finishing. And there come those first 4 Zerglings. The first queen as well. Ooh, DRG still on the Vespene gathering. Now finally pulling off there. Oh, no, I'm stupid. he was shy of 100 Vespene. That's obviously why he was still on the gathering. For some reason, I thought he was going to go Roach opening again. All right, over here, KiWiKaKi did decide to go Nexus right after that Forge, following it up here with a couple of cannons. And then shortly thereafter, we'll see that gateway likely placed right over here. He wants to make a little buffer for that cannon as well. He doesn't want that cannon right out in the open. You want that basically behind a few buildings. Don't want to make it vulnerable to any Spieling attack. And look at that, DRG taking the center of the map here. High yield expansion as his natural, or as his second base, not as his natural. This is clearly still his natural expansion, but decided instead of taking his natural to take that high yield expo there. Very, very risky. He'll be grabbing that Zelnaga tower. That's pretty essential. And KiWiKaKi maybe getting that second scout within range of that natural expansion. That could be a problem, because if he scouts a lack of an expo, he's going to realize something fishy's going on, and there it is. Oh no, DRG. He really wanted to deny the scout from him coming through, but unable to do so. KiWiKaKi now moving into the main. Is he going to check that high yield right away? Is he really going to do it? Oh, never mind. He's not. I really thought that he was going to go straight for that high yield expansion. Now, something else to consider here. KiWiKaKi right now knows the fact that there is no expo. All right, he's fully aware of the fact that there's no natural. Now he's going to try moving out with another scout, and if he can take this tower, that's going to be pretty huge. And moving down with those Zerglings, denying the vision. I think he did. I'm pretty positive. Yes, he did. He did deny that vision. Now I wouldn't be too surprised if this first Zealot actually makes his way to that tower just to check what's going on, because right now KiWiKaKi knows one of 2 things. There's either an expansion at the high yield, or he's about to deal with another 1-base push with Roaches and Spielings. Now he's obviously going to prepare for the possibility of dealing with that 1-base push, and as you can see, this is indicative of that. Lots and lots of cannons, and coming out with those Zealots from that second gateway there as well. And now here comes the Zealot here for KiWiKaKi. Is he going to get it? Is he going to scout it? He hasn't yet. Still doesn't have control of that tower, because there it is. Gaining control of the tower. Now KiWiKaKi knows that the high yield has been taken. So now he knows that all of these cannons were placed in vain, as he is not going to be dealing with any early game pressure. That Zealot finally taken out, but unfortunately for DRG, that his hand has been shown. Now his opponent KiWiKaKi knows what's going on, and he knows that there won't be any early pressure per se. and that he just has to try to deal with that high yield. Now, this is obviously a very vulnerable position here for DRG, and as you can see, they're coming down with a spine crawler, try to help deal with any possible aggression he may be seeing. Third base over here in that hatchery at that natural expansion. We get an evolution chamber as well as a roach horn coming out here for DRG. DRG not teching up yet. He is still working on his economy, especially since he's coming out with that third base over there. Also working to try to spread that creep here. And we're seeing a couple Spielings move out, and let's see if they are able to do much, if any, damage at all. Moving on forward, 2 shots by that cannon is enough to drop that one Zergling. And a few Zealots moving across the map, and they'll be trying to do some harass here. I think that one spine plus the amount of Zerglings he has should be enough. He's got 12 Zerglings about to pop 2. Level 1 Carapace upgrade is also coming through there. Just now getting that Warp Gate research. It's going to be a little while until KiWiKaKi is able to get any more reinforcements out. There we go, Spielings plus the Queens and that Spine Crawler able to overwhelm these Zealots and take them out. Zealots going to stay in and try to do as much damage as they can, realizing that they can't really escape here. A couple more tumors getting dropped for DRG, and the rest of those Zealots get taken out. Nice defense there by DRG, forcing KiWiKaKi to lose pretty much everything he had there. He's behind right now in terms of resources lost. There haven't been any worker kills. DRG's managed to kill off 2 workers, but those were just the scouting workers, so not a whole lot there. We're actually going to see some static cloak detection as well as anti-air defense here in these spore crawlers for DRG. One on over at that natural expansion, another one over here at the third at the high yield. DRG sitting idly over here. He will be scouting out to see if KiWiKaKi takes a third. He's got control of the tower too, so he'll know if he tries to take a third over here. And there it is, Overlord scouting, Sacrificial moving in. We'll be checking those gateways as well as that robo. So we have got 5 gateways up here in the main, plus these 2. So there's going to be a total of 7 gateways plus a robo here from KiWiKaKi. He's likely to stay on these 2 bases for at least a little while longer, probably just to make use of those 7 gateways is a bit much if you're planning to take a third base. So I'm assuming that he's going to be planning to stay on 2 bases for a while and push out with a 2-base push to try to take out this high yield expansion. Now, what is DRG going to be doing? Well, we've got a macro hatch over here. Again, that Roach Warren is in play. He's now just coming out with that layer. He should be okay. That layer should be finished before any push does come from KiWiKaKi, as it is likely to be a little while longer. Unless he decides to push out with some level 1 upgrade weapons push. He could quite certainly do that. KiWiKaKi right now just finishing that level 1 melee damage upgrade. A couple of Spielings against scouting out the attempted expansion here for KiWiKaKi. And actually, wow, it does look like KiWiKaKi will now be trying to move into a third. Is he really going to be doing that? Yes, he is. So KiWiKaKi attempted to move into a third right now. Instead of pushing out with that massive gateway push, he's going to be doing also a small push to coincide with this expansion coming out that level 1 armor upgrade as well. Roach is managing to spot this push, forcing him to cancel off these creep tumors here as he's trying to get that creep nice and close to KiWiKaKi's base. Now all of a sudden he's concerned about this major push. Now we're going to have an observer pop out in just a moment. That's going to let him take out all of these creep tumors. That's very unfortunate there for DRG. We'd like to see him try to spread that, but it doesn't really matter as the observer is now in play. See you later, tumors. Roach is moving down with those Spielings, getting back control of that tower there and forcing KiWiKaKi back for fear of losing his units. Now we're going to see KiWiKaKi come out with a wall off here of gateways and cannons to try to make sure he can stop any Spieling attacks pushing in from this angle. That would be very, very threatening to this expansion. More and more Spielings coming out. We're seeing a Spire come out here as well. Burrow Research, Glow Reconstitution there for those Roaches. Level 1 melee attack there for those ground units. He doesn't have the missile, but he does have the Carapace upgrade now finished. And we got about to see 10 more Roaches pop. And also here comes a 4th base for DRG as he knows that KiWiKaKi is planning to take his third. Now, what else is going on? We will be seeing a Twilight Council come out. We can't make Colossus yet as there's no Robotics Bay in play for KiWiKaKi here. About to see 10 Roaches and 10 Spielings pop for DRG, and DRG may in fact be planning a push here against KiWiKaKi to coincide with his expansion. KiWiKaKi now has that third base up. We're going to get that saturated at the moment. Overseer moving on down here, trying to get some scouting of KiWiKaKi's main. Managed to get that Changeling all the way over here, so didn't see much, but he did check that Twilight Council. And here it comes. The attempt to push from DRG gets met with a lot of force fields, trapping all these Roaches on the wrong side and making for some easy pickoffs here for KiWiKaKi. KiWiKaKi should be moving in for a flank, though. There we go, Roaches and Spielings pushing from this angle. And we still get that threat of those Roaches over there. And is he going straight for the third? Yes, he is. He'll be moving right on up here. And he's realizing this wall off there, so letting those Roaches go in first. But he's going to be dealing with some Stalkers, and that extra range going to make things very difficult. A couple of Spielings move from the other side as well as the rest of those Roaches. One Queen also moving down. There's a nice force field wall and a Guardian Shield. KiWiKaKi is all safe against that. Now he's going to manage to drop this one warp gate. There it is, and then push back with those roaches as he's in danger of losing them there to those stalkers. We're going to see some blink research coming out. Fortunately, that push wasn't all that effective for DRG, but now he has got some mutas. In fact, 9 mutalists in play, 4 of them about to pop. And we'll be moving straight into the main with this to try to do what he can for damage. Lots of roaches pushing on down over here. We're going to see all these stalkers move down, but they're not going to be defending the main as these small group of mutas able to do a lot of damage over there as the bulk of the force for KiWiKaKi was just pulled down to deal with that roach attack. These mutas are kind of going to town right now, and DRG able to do quite a bit of damage, also massing up his speedling force here in the center of the map. Roaches finally pushing back when he realized he would have been overwhelmed, and the mutas also pushing back, but that's a lot of damage there by DRG. Let's see how many workers he killed. 15 now total in this game dropped there by DRG. DRG's 4th base is now up. So we're working to get that saturated right about now. There we go. And continuing to mass up his forces. He's getting more and more mutalisks. 4 of them about to come out. He's already got 16 in play. This is very muta heavy. My concern is that he's going to be coming up against Blink Stalkers in just a moment, as that research is very, very close to finish there. But the mutas can still harass and do a bit of damage. We got Speedlings, Roaches, and mutas now right outside of the 3rd base of KiWiKaKi. KiWiKaKi's already lost a couple of those gateways. Needs to be very, very careful. Oh no, here it comes. Push, moving down. Speedlings going in first. Here come the roaches and the mutas, and this is it. We're going to see DRG push up with everything here, and with some blink micro, KiWiKaKi is able to stay away and out of the range of a lot of those roaches, and KiWiKaKi has successfully defended against that push. We're going to expect a counter push right now, especially since that blink research is finished here for KiWiKaKi. He is 1-1, about to be 2-1. Once that weapons level 2 upgrades do finish. And the muta's moving back into the main again. 24 workers killed right now. KiWiKaKi definitely needs to respond with something, as he has taken some economic damage there. We're going to see a lot of Blink Stalkers come out here for KiWiKaKi again. He's just about finished that upgrade there. Level 2 weapons, and this is going to be a major problem. We got the Speedlings moving out with those roaches. Here come a few mutas as well, but that blink research, what KiWiKaKi is doing is whenever his units get low, he's just blinking them back to safety. There are so many roaches here, and the Speedlings helping quite a bit as well, and they're just continuing to churn their way and throw themselves against the Stalker wall. More and more roaches. Speedlings continuing to join the fray. 42 Speedlings about to pop, and oh my gosh, God, DRG is going to overwhelm KiWiKaKi here, as he has done so much economic damage that KiWiKaKi just cannot afford to keep up with this warp in. His warp gate's off cooldown, but he just cannot afford to warp in enough stalkers because he's taken so much economic damage. And we just saw so many Speedlings pop, and let's see what DRG decides to do with it. He's going to be moving into the main here with those mutas back straight to that resource line there, killing off a few more workers, and the worker count keeps climbing and climbing. Workers killed right now at 32 workers killed. I don't think KiWiKaKi has enough right now to deal with this. Muta's still in the main. They'll be killing off a pylon. Never mind, actually moving down to try to flank the force over here as KiWiKaKi attempts to make a push. KiWiKaKi hasn't made any significant pushes against the bases of DRG yet. That's the problem. Here come those Speedlings, and they're able to get us around there on those stalkers, even with that blink micro, doing so much damage. Roach is able to sneak through there as well, using that burrow research to their advantage, and KiWiKaKi is now forced all the way back, and he is about to be overwhelmed. There's really nothing KiWiKaKi can do about this right now. He just does not have the income to be able to warp in enough to deal with the constant threat of DRG's push. And if you want to see, we're going to be seeing the GG in just one moment. There it is, guys. KiWiKaKi calling the GG. This series going to DRG. All right, my friends, that is going to do it here in this series between KiWiKaKi and DRG. It does look like DRG does come out victorious here in this best of 3. Just like we saw in Game 1, some beautiful economic harass from DRG just set KiWiKaKi too far behind and made him unable to defend against the constant, relentless assaults there from DRG, with Speedlings plus mutas doing a lot of economic damage. It was just too much for KiWiKaKi to handle. Alright guys, that is it in this series between these two players. Hopefully you did enjoy it. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.